Thank you. Thank you so very much, and welcome once again to Continental Championship Wrestling, brought to you by and sanctioned by the National Wrestling Alliance, the oldest and largest sanctioning body of professional wrestling the world over. We are direct from Boutwell Auditorium in Birmingham, Alabama, where tonight we're going to have some very, very special news concerning the Alabama Heavyweight Championship. That'll be coming up later on as we hear some words from the injured and sidelined Bob Armstrong. We'll also be seeing a videotape message from the sensational Austin Idol. Later in this hour, the Continental Heavyweight Championship goes on the line. Tommy Wildfire Rich going up against the Flame. We'll be seeing a six-man tag team match and the Southeastern Heavyweight Championship, plus much, much more during this hour of Continental Championship Wrestling, so by all means do stay tuned. And now we're getting set to go with our first match, so let's turn it back to our ring announcer.
Introducing now, coming in the ring, 241 pounds, the Raging Bull, Randy Barber. And his partner, 225 pounds from Houston, Texas, Larry Clark. Their third partner tonight, 222 pounds from Paris, Arkansas. Ladies and gentlemen, your United States Junior Heavyweight Champion, Professor Bill Ash. Making their way into the ring now. They need no introductions. 690 pounds from Marietta, Georgia, Fred Scott and Steve Armstrong. One fall with a 45-minute time limit. Your referee, Roy George.
Steve Scott and Brad Armstrong, the Armstrong brothers, in action. And brother, are they seeking vengeance for their father? We'll have a special report coming up on Bob Armstrong just a little bit later on. But right now, Brad Armstrong in the ring in the green trunks, getting set to go in this six-man tag team match here on Continental Championship Wrestling. Good reversal by Brad Armstrong. And Larry Clark. Now the tag is made. Armstrong tags up. And no matter who Armstrong tags, there'll be another Armstrong in the ring. Scott, Steve, and Brad Armstrong moving against this trio of Bill Ash, the Raging Bull, Randy Barber, and Larry Clark. Tag is made. Brother to brother. The three Armstrong brothers seeking vengeance on Ron Fuller, Robert Fuller, and Jimmy Golden. All right, Brad Armstrong tags up once again. Brad Armstrong looking exceptionally well against this combination of Ash, Barber, and Clark. Notice the way the referee is constantly moving in the ring. Good officiating. Notice the way he's watching. Make sure there's no hidden choke. Excellent officiating, and Brad Armstrong could be in trouble. Ash with a forearm to the side of the jaw. Ash catches him with a knee lift. Brad Armstrong fires back. Brad Armstrong catches Ash again. Brad Armstrong up with a beautiful flying drop kick, and Brad Armstrong is moving well. Bill Ash with a headbutt into the midsection, and Ash backs away. Ash backs away as the Armstrongs are now really beginning to settle some hash in a hurry. The Raging Bull. Randy Barber moves in. Armstrong connects with him in a hurry. Armstrong up, grazes him with a drop kick. Once again, the tag is made. And Scott and Steve Armstrong, along with brother Brad, keeping the Armstrong name alive and well in professional wrestling. Bob Armstrong, Bullet Bob, their dad, sidelined with multiple injuries. Good leapfrog by Armstrong. Barber drops to the canvas. Nice counter. Armstrong was set and ready for that one. Armstrongs tag up once again. Randy Barber in trouble once again. And again the tag is made. Brad Armstrong moves in. Rolling cradle that time, and the Raging Bull slips away from it. And now it's Larry Clark moving back into the ring once again. Good drop toe hold by Brad Armstrong into an arm bar. Keeps the pressure up on that deltoid muscle. Brad Armstrong set and ready. All right, Ash in there once again. Ash caught in a side headlock. Ash fires him off, drops to the canvas. Ash. Back of the elbow, then the flat of the foot. Into the prefrontal lobe. And again, the tag is made. Clark moves in. Brad Armstrong explodes right on the midsection. Drives a knee into the side of the throat of Clark. Clark back on his feet, and the tag is made. Brother Armstrong and the two brothers teaming together. Beautiful bit of dual elbows that time. Scott, Steve, and Brad Armstrong. Good drop kick. Catches Clark coming in. Armstrong right back on him again. Armstrong now. Good hip lock takedown. Once again, the tag is made. Scott and Steve trading off. Full arm drag and twist. Interesting variation on a bottom wrist lock. Rabbit punch to the base of the skull. Another one on the deltoids. And another and another and another. And they are beating Clark into submission. So the Armstrongs, venting some of their anger and their rage at the Fullers, out on this trio. Bill Ash, Larry Clark, and the Raging Bull, Randy Barber. Brad Armstrong off the second rope. Down into the arm of Larry Clark, and Clark's going to have a lot of trouble trying to use that arm. Bottom wrist lock, lateral drop, and takedown. So Clark in a lot of trouble. Makes the tag. Ash moves in again. Ooh, brother. Ash caught him coming in that time. A pile driving right hand. High knee lift. Troubles him again. Again, Ash tags up. Brad Armstrong rolling away. Makes the tag. And now, both Scott and Steve in the ring. And we've got a four-way melee going on now. Now we've got them all in the ring, and we've got pandemonium going here. But wait a minute. Where's Ash? Bill Ash, the professor, has disappeared. They catch him with a lariat coming off the ropes. They got the 3 count. They got the 3 count. So, Brad, Scott, and Steve Armstrong are victorious in this 6-man tag. Here's the official word from our ring announcer. Let's take another look. You'll see what I'm talking about in slow motion as the Armstrongs set him up beautifully for that lariat. And as he connected with the lariat, it was all over. And so the Armstrongs in a 6-man tag are victorious in this match here on Continental Championship Wrestling. Right now to remind all of you that the Tennessee stud Ron Fuller will not be seen on this hour of Continental Championship Wrestling. He is currently appearing before the board of directors of the National Wrestling Alliance. Mr. Armstrong did not file a complaint. Mr. Fuller is the man who's appearing before the board of directors. And I might just point out that now you hear the Robert Fuller and gorgeous Jimmy Golden approaching the...
You're wondering, these are not for you. They're funeral flowers for Mr. Funny Bob Armstrong, the man that's sad all the way to the bone. You know what I mean? Sad to the bone. He's crying like a hound dog now, and we're playing bad to the bone. We just turn it around a little bit, Gordon. Some apologies, because you know yourself, Bob Armstrong is as low as you're going to see. I went to Bob Armstrong and said, take me as your partner, and I'll do you a good job. He said, I think I'll use one of my boys, he said. I had to convince him. I had to say, Bob Armstrong, please. He got no confidence in me. And when he showed me that, then I said, well, I better start listening to my brother a little bit of what he's telling me and tie the family ties back together a little bit. Listen to handsome Jimmy over here. He got it all together anyway.
That's what they call
the Armstrong where they deserve to be. That's just the start of it.
I'll tell you what, Mr. Fuller, and you, Mr. Golden, I want you two to take a look at the monitor right now. I want to relive a couple of moments in history. I want you all to see, and I want you to tell me how you should not be known as a Benedict Arnold. Let's roll that tape. Let's go. I understand that.
The name is Fuller.
All right, let's take a look at this videotape right now, and you'll see exactly what we're talking about. Tag team match in a steel cage.
Looking good.
All right, now.
That's what you call falling for it, hook, line, and sinker, Mr. Gordon Soley. This bullet, Bob Armstrong, was a great sucker, brother. He took it all away.
Nobody gives my brother the credit. As the manager that he is, nobody gives him the credit to be able to get things done. And I've seen the light where my brother's concerned. He is the world's greatest manager of all time. Nobody in this crowd, nowhere else can dispute that. And Bob Armstrong sure won't dispute it today. I guarantee you that, Gordon.
Well, what I'm trying to understand is, first of all, it was obvious that you pulled something out of your trunks. You attacked a man that had trusted you and believed in you.
No, you saw that all wrong. I didn't have to pull anything out of my tights to take care of Bob Armstrong. Now, I got enough ability to beat that man 19 times with 1 foot tied to 1 arm.
Well,
I don't have to pull nothing out of my tights. When you saw that, you saw me straighten my tights.
I see. How do you excuse yourself? How do you possibly explain the fact that you went in there as his tag team partner and then betrayed him? You Pearl Harbored the man.
I told you earlier that he tried to make a fool out of me. He wanted to use one of them punk kids in an important situation like that. When I went to him and said, I am your man, it was hard to convince him. Now, that's right off the flat. That made a fool out of me, made me feel as small as one of them punks that he's got out there wrestling in the ring. I don't belong in that class. I belong in the class of handsome Jimmy here.
That's
and
right,
my brother, the Tennessee stud.
You don't make a fool out of our family, Mr. Soley. We're all together. We're family. You know what I'm talking about?
That's it. We are family now, and that's the way it's going to stay. I'd like you to see that these get to Bob Armstrong, these flowers we're throwing up here for you, because we got him some beautiful ones there, and it's going to make him feel a little better, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
He's home now. He's crying like a hound dog. He's sad to the bone.
Well, we're going to hear...
His bones hurting, all right.
Yeah, they are.
Right to the bone, brother.
I can't deny that for a moment.
You know, I love all this. They can just play all that all night long because I love to watch Bob Armstrong get his.
Good in there.
We got other things on our mind and giving it to somebody else, and we're anxious for that too, Gordon.
Well, once again, may I just repeat to all of you who are watching right now, is that Ron Fuller is before the NWA Board of Directors at this very hour, trying to explain away this horrible bit of deception that took place, something almost unparalleled in wrestling, to have a man go into the ring with somebody else as a tag team partner, when obviously you had that in mind all along.
You know something? We'll never know that, Gordon, will we? We'll never know if I had it in mind all along, or if I got in the ring and I saw what a sloppy, good-for-nothing, worthless partner I had in there in the first place, and I decided to do the smart thing. Because I'm pretty smart, Gordon. You got to give it to me that I'm plenty smart. You know me for a long time. And that I'm not going to go in there with a nitwit partner that can't hold his tights up and then stick with him through the whole match. I'm going to wise up pretty fast. You know something, Mr.
Well, I will say one thing. This isn't like buying a boat trailer on scene, that's for sure. But nonetheless...
They say if you can't stand the heat, brother, you better get out of the kitchen, and Mr. Armstrong had to get out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you what.
Armstrong's condition speaks for itself.
All right, I'll tell you what, gentlemen. Just hang in. Just hang right in here, gentlemen. I want all of you to, at this particular time, I want you to hear these comments from a very, very battered, but a very, very grim and determined...
We should have kicked his teeth out and pulled his tongue out, man. He's going to talk now.
All right, let's listen now to these comments on videotape from Bob Armstrong.
You know, I've been down a lot of times in professional wrestling. Had every bone in my face broken and every bone in my body at one time or another, but I've never had this many injuries at once in my life. Robert, why did you do this? I'm about to blow a skull fuse just trying to wonder why, after all we've meant to each other like family over the years, just exactly why you did it. But you did a good job, I'll say that. You set me up right, and it worked out well, and you put that Fuller leg lock on me so long that it, as a doctor described it, my cartilage looked like scrambled eggs, but thank God for arthroscopic surgery, and I'm a quick healer. And the good book says, physician, heal thyself, and I'm going to help these physicians heal myself. Now, if I'm not talking too plain, I'm sorry, but they got me on heavy sedation. You see, when your first cousin, Jimmy Golden, dropped about 30 elbows, he broke 3 ribs. Then when your brother Ron stomped me half to death, he dislocated a shoulder. He also broke a collarbone. So I've never been hurt this many places at the same time in my life. But there's one thing for certain. The good book says an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. And I have to say myself, payback is bad to the bone. Now, I try to keep my boys out of this, but that'd be like holding back wild horses. And I know that I'd laid down my life in a minute for my father, and I can't tell you how good it feels that my boys feel the same way about their father that I felt about mine. So I've just got to sit here in this gym that I built over the years. I can't touch a weight. This gym has kept me on top for a long time in professional wrestling. I can't even take a deep breath without hurting. I can't scream like I want to scream because of the pain. But remember, Fuller, like I said, payback is bad to the bone. Now, what I want to do, Gordon Soley, if you'll return this belt, this Alabama belt that I worked for and won, and turn it over to the #1 challenger, Jimmy Golden, and see how it feels when it's just given to him. And I want to thank all the fans for the letters. I appreciate the support. It's kept me going for a long time. And remember, the Armstrongs can take a licking, and we can keep on ticking.
That belt belongs to me, Mr. Soley. I'm the #1 contender, and I'm going to be a proud holder. And I know all my fans are going to love it because I'm going to be their Alabama champion.
Well, I'll tell you what. Just before you take this belt, I've got to admire Bob Armstrong. He said, give it to gorgeous Jimmy Golden. He's the #1 contender. However,
knows who the best is.
Well, the president of the NWA, Mr. Bob Geigel, doesn't agree with that. Mr. Geigel has said you will not receive the belt. There will be a tournament held for this belt.
Why not? I'm the #1 contender. He said the belt was mine. It belongs to me. I don't believe Bob Armstrong ever said that in the first place, to give you the belt. I'll never believe that. He's not that kind of man. He's sitting back and he's whining like a little baby dog that he is. And we should have pulled his tongue out, knocked his teeth out of his mouth when we had the chance.
Nevertheless, Jimmy Golden doesn't get the belt. The Alabama Championship will be in a tournament, and we'll be back right after we call. I have with me right now the Armstrong, Scott, Steve, and Brad Armstrong. And you can hear how the people here in Birmingham feel about him. Before I talk to them, though, Let me turn the microphone over to Marion Crumley and to Mr. Golden and Mr. Fuller.
Right here in the ring with me, I have Jimmy Golden and Robert Fuller, and I'm sure they have some comments.
Hey, let me tell you something. Went to the Marine Corps. They talked about a few good men, and what am I looking at? A few good ladies. And that's the way we're going to treat you in a street fight, son. If you think you're a man enough, if you can handle a job, brother, anytime you want to step in the ring in a street fight, anything goes, just bring it on down. We're ready for you, brother.
Well, the challenge has been made, gentlemen.
That's exactly right. You make a challenge, well, brother, we accept with open arms. Not only did Bob Armstrong teach us wrestling, he taught us the fine art of kicking butt and taking names, Jackson. And that's what we're going to do. You got some payback coming, brother, and we're paying it. From the Royal Forest of Dean, the exotic one, escorted by Miss Linda. Ladies and gentlemen, your Southeastern heavyweight champion, Adrian Street. And his challenger, 225 pounds from Oklahoma, ladies and gentlemen, Roy Lee Welch. Your referee, Roy George. One fall with a 60-minute time limit for the Southeastern heavyweight champion.
Adrian Street getting set now to defend his Southeastern Heavyweight Championship. Roy Lee Welch getting ready to move out against him. Later on, we're going to be hearing from the former champion, Austin Idol, who's been sidelined with injuries as well, and those at the hands of the exotic one, Adrian Street. Again, there you see it. The pixie-like qualities of Adrian Street. But don't let those mannerisms, don't let those fool you. He's a dangerous individual. Look at that, beautiful, beautiful move. Rear chin lock and a hammerlock. Roy Lee Welch making an excellent recovery on that one. Brought him up for a full body slam. That can jar the coccyx pretty well. All right, Adrian Street now. Armbar coming across the side of the jaw. Street, of course, from England. Well schooled and well versed in the European style of wrestling. Considerably different than the American catch-as-catch-can style. In England, of course, they wrestle in rounds. Street, in his amateur career, was world middleweight wrestling champion. Beautiful move by Welch. That staggered him. And Welch moves in again. Snap near by Roy Lee Welch. Yeah, notice the way Street hooked that near leg. Yeah, now Street punishing Welch. One thing about, now look at the way Street utilizing those legs. Of course, when you utilize the legs, you utilize the most powerful muscles in the body. So he's coming across the throat. Quick takedown. Very few wrestlers utilize their legs as judiciously and as cleverly as Adrian Street, the exotic one. A sledgehammer blow to the back. Street. Bolo-like forearm that puts Welch to the canvas. Another forearm that puts him down. Street very definitely trying to take command. And wait a minute. Miss Linda entering into that situation distracted Welch, and now Street took advantage of that. And again, And Welch outside the ring after Miss Linda. Street moving away from it. Street outside the ring, smashing Welch into the ring post. Has him back inside once again. Bolo-like forearm again under the jaw of Roy Lee Welch. Welch, of course, a second-generation wrestler. His dad. There's that Welch right hand. And now Roy Lee beginning to explode on the Southeastern heavyweight champion. And the challenger now looking extremely strong. Street, the champion, in trouble. Roy Lee Welch, a good snap mare. And it is Roy Lee Welch driving a knee into the pectoralis major area of exotic Adrian Street. Tripped up by Miss Linda. And Roy Lee Welch would like to get his hands on her. And I do not mean in a friendly sort of way. Puts on the rope. Roy Lee Welch outside the ring. After Miss Linda, he's caught up with her. Ooh. The exotic Adrian Street caught him, blindsided him. Good counter by Welch. Excellent counter by Welch. Welch back in the ring, and he's bringing the Southeastern champion in with him. No, sir. Tripped up. Tripped up. Tripped up and got a 3 count. Tripped up and got a 3 count. I have the exotic Adrian Street with me. I don't even want to talk about the match that we just saw, Mr. Street.
No, it was wonderful, wasn't it? Absolutely wonderful. I was absolutely wonderful. I mean, I suppose that you couldn't talk about it, not so... I mean, I've never met a man with so much vocabulary as you, and even you were speechless. It just shows how wonderful it was.
Well, indeed, that isn't exactly what I had in mind. I specifically, however, wanted you to be up here with me because I want you to take a look at our monitor. I have some videotaped remarks from Austin Idol, the former Southeastern heavyweight champion. I think you should bear heed to.
Oh, hell, I hate talking to exes, you understand? I hate talking to exes, ex-champions and such.
Well, if you don't mind, sir, you won't have to talk. Just give a look at the monitor right here, and we'll hear from these comments now from Austin Idol.
Well, thank you very much, Gordon. I guess, first of all, at this interview, I'd like to thank all the fans and for their cards and the letters, and I don't want to sound real mushy-mouthed about this right now, but sincerely, I do appreciate all the concern that you've shown in regarding my condition, which at this point in time is, quite honestly, still not very good. I'd also like to thank Dr. William Greenberg in Columbus, Georgia, who I've been seeing. He's one of the top ophthalmologists in the country. I've been seeing him on a weekly basis, him and his staff. And I guess basically what I really want to say here is that at this point in time in my life, I'm missing something that I love dearly, and that's professional wrestling. I'm missing something I love dearly. That's my association that it had taken me such a long period of time to build with these fans in this particular area. Now, Adrian Street, I realize that anytime you're a champion in any sport, you're going to have people gunning for you. But the way you gunned me down, brother, was a way that I'll never forget. And I'm just saying one thing. I'm going to haunt you like a ghost. I don't know when, I don't know where, but believe me, sooner or later, you're going to pay.
Well, as you heard, of course, he has been seeing an ophthalmologist, and just exactly how soon he'll be recovered, I don't know, but he says he's coming back for you.
You know, I feel so sorry. All of a sudden, I feel very, very sorry. I feel really saddened by watching your interview. You see, he's got a patch over his eye. I just can't tell you how upset I am. That I only got one eye. I should have got both the eyes. It seems to me I've lost my touch. If he comes back, I'm going to take care of that other eye. That has annoyed me very much. That's made me more annoyed than I was happy to take the belt from that lunatic. I just called him bone idle. That's what I'll call it.
I think we've heard quite enough from the Southeastern heavyweight champion, the exotic Adrian Street. We'll be back. Wednesday night, August 28th, Gadsden, Alabama, at the Gadsden Coliseum. And it's going to be a special tag team match, Brad and Steve Armstrong against Robert Fuller and Jimmy Golden.
Exactly right, Gordon, and that's what we wanted, a chance to get a little revenge, because Robert Fuller, the back jumper that he is, jumped my dad from behind when he was almost had Golden and Fuller out on his own. Robert Fuller hit him from behind. Well, Steve and I will get a little revenge, and Scott's going to be there, too, with a junior title match. And don't be surprised if Scott don't come on down either, because we'll do anything to get that revenge.
And you've got the Flame.
So I want to say hi to all the people there in Gadsden. Cynthia, I love you, baby. We're coming back to Gadsden. Looking forward to it. The Flame, be ready.
All right, now let's go to the other dressing room.
Leroy Welch, you look so butch and macho with your cowboy outfit on, but let me tell you something, Leroy. This is one time when the cowboys are going to bite the dust.
All right, Adrian. You know something, Armstrong? There's an old saying. If you can't stand the heat, you get out of the kitchen. Your old man had to check out, brother. We're just wondering if you two punks are going to be able to carry the load in Gadsden, Alabama.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Armstrong went to the Marine Corps, and they said, we raised a few good men, and you raised 3 women, and 2 of them is going to be womanized, man. We're going to take them and womanize them in Gadsden for you. We're going to show them what a man does to a lady.
Wednesday night, the 28th in Gadsden.
Wednesday night, looking forward. Flame, be ready. I love all them pretty young ladies there, I guess. Somebody says somebody, fired up, fired up.
Well, we've got a great match in progress right now. A sensational athlete, Brickhouse Brown, going up against the Nightmare #1. Of course, you never can tell with these nightmares what's liable to happen. Let's join this match already in progress. Brickhouse Brown against the Nightmare. And Brown catches him. Beautiful roundhouse right. And again, the Nightmare leaves the ring. Brickhouse Brown has his crowd picking it up. Nightmare back inside once again. And has that arm behind his back. Staggered Brown. Looks like he might have something in those trunks. Brown caught. And caught again by the Nightmare. Tell you, these Nightmares give away some size, but they don't lack in deviousness and aggressiveness. They've got more than their share. High backdrop by the Nightmare on Brickhouse Brown. Brown powers out before the count, however. Up against the ring ropes, Irish whip. Brown lays a big right foot. And a winging right hand puts the Nightmare back to the canvas. Smashes his head into the turnbuckle. The Nightmare outside the ring once again. Brickhouse Brown right behind him. Brickhouse Brown catches him. We got a Pier Sixer going. The referee stepping out, trying to break it up, does so. I'll tell you, that young fellow is a tough but very fair-minded. Looks to me like the Nightmare's just switched off. Brown after him anyway. That does not look like the same Nightmare that was in there originally. Brown catches him with an elbow, however. Brown punishing the Nightmare. The second Nightmare in there. The second nightmare in there on Brickhouse Brown. So you've got a situation of 2 men against 1. Brickhouse Brown in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble. Wait a second. Nick Patrick just charged the ring. Nick Patrick just exploded. Long looping right hands on the part of Nick Patrick. Well, turnabout. Turnabout was fair play. The victory goes to Brickhouse Brown, and the tag team champions beat a hasty retreat. Let's get the word from our ring announcer.
The match, the foul weather match by disqualification, Brickhouse Brown.
To the nightmares. Before I talk to them, however, I think it'd be a wise idea to hear the comments from Brickhouse Brown and from Nick Patrick.
Thank you, Gordon. Right here in the ring with me, I have Nick Patrick and Brickhouse Brown. I'm sure you have some comments.
Nightmares, you ain't did nothing. All you done did is rip your last dirty, dingy underwear, and your dues gonna be paid.
I haven't been in this area very long, but ever since I have been in here, the nightmares have been a thorn in my side. Everybody out here seeing what you've tried to do to Brickhouse Brown. Well, brother, you're not going to get away with it anymore. Put those titles on the line against Brickhouse and myself, big boys.
All right, gentlemen, how do you respond to that?
I'll tell you how I respond. Let me tell you guys a little story. It's real short and it's real sweet. You know, you guys got to be totally ignorant or nobody's told you nothing. But you see, as you happen to know, Nick Patrick, you used to be one of the Rat Patrol. Well, thanks to us, there is no more Rat Patrol. It's nightmares all the way, baby. Now, let me tell you something else. We told you you had to prove yourself. And in my opinion, and all these people's opinion, you haven't done it yet. But, oh, you shut up. You haven't done it yet. Now you're wanting title shots? Well, I tell you what. Meet us in a tag team match, and if, and only if by chance, you can prove yourself in that, we might think about putting up the title.
I think you're a little premature with this R.I.P. Johnny Rich.
That's right, R.I.P. J.R. Rest in peace, Johnny Rich.
He'll be back, I'll guarantee you that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next match of the evening, going to one fall with a 60-minute time limit for the Continental Heavyweight Champion. Introducing first, ladies and gentlemen, 295 pounds from parts unknown, now entering the ring, your Continental Heavyweight Champion, The Flame. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenger, now making his way in the ring, 228 pounds from Nashville, Tennessee, Tommy Wildfire Rich.
One fall, the Continental Heavyweight Championship on the line. Tommy Wildfire Rich in the blue trunks, the challenger. The Flame, better than 300 pounds, the champion. Rich is ready. The referee calls for the bell. The bell is rung. This match underway. Remember, as we said, the Continental title on the line. And the Flame backing away. And Rich, a little bit perplexed. Notice the Rich, however. By the way, let me remind you once again, Rich, of course, former NWA World Heavyweight Champion. So he has the championship qualities. No question about that. Good clean break by the Flame. Rich watching his man. Good clean break, but Rich scored with a right hand. Notice Rich, however, he's not going to charge in there recklessly. And the referee warning Rich. Flame back on his feet. And so the Flame taking an entirely different tack in this championship match. The Flame continues his back-away tactics. Rich connecting with a series of right hands now. Driving into the side of the jaw of the Flame. The Flame, Irish whip in, caught one to the side of the head, and the Flame leaves the ring. Rich in the blue trunks, fired up and ready. He's a cousin to Johnny Rich. Johnny Rich out of action. Johnny Rich, he'll be back. And the Flame admonishing Tommy Rich now. You can hear the crowd picking up the chant, fire up, fire up. That, of course, a war cry for Tommy Wildfire Rich. And Rich again explodes with 4 right hands, a 5th right hand. Irish whip and drives one to the midsection. Rich right on him. Closes in. He's after the mask. Tommy Wildfire Rich after the mask of the Flame. Flame. Over that top rope. Rich in trouble. Rich coming up very slowly.
5 minutes now run by the match. 5 minutes gone.
Rich coming back into that ring very slowly. Apparently the decision by the referee there was the disqualification rule did not hold because it was not unintentional. Or certainly didn't appear to be. What's the Flame doing with his mask now? Rich down, and the Flame obviously had something in his mask. Rich on his feet and staggered. The referee checking the Flame. Rich's face, a crimson mask. Bad laceration on Tommy Wildfire Rich. And the Flame very definitely in control of the situation now. Rich driven to the canvas again. The Flame now merciless in his approach to the challenger. Another headbutt. Rich knocked right over that top rope. And the Flame being warned by the referee. The Flame, the Continental Champion, and that title is on the line. The Flame has him outside the ring, smashes him into that steel ring post. And Rich all but out now. The Flame again wasting no time in approaching Rich. A boot to the top of the head. Rich in trouble. And Rich's almost his entire body reddened now as that life-giving fluid flowing freely out of his badly lacerated head, and the Flame moves in on him once again. Rich in a desperation move. And the crowd beginning to come alive. Tommy Wildfire Rich. That adrenaline beginning to flow in Tommy Wildfire Rich now. back to his feet. Rich pounding away. Rich now with tremendous second effort. A series of hard right hands to the side of the head of the Flame. And it's the Flame all the way over that top rope down to the concrete outside the ring. And so this massive 300-pounder is in trouble. Tommy Rich coming off the ring apron. The Flame rolls to one side, and Rich in a lot of trouble. The Flame hurdling Rich back into the ring. Now the Flame grabbing a steel chair. The Flame moving in with a steel chair, arguing with the referee. Rich caught him. Rich caught him. And Tommy Rich now moves in with that steel. Wow! We've got a new champion. We have a new champion. Tommy Rich. Tommy Rich got a Texas toothpick and evened it up. Tommy Rich dumps the Flame for the title. We've got a new Continental Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, Tommy Wildfire Rich. Let me give the new Continental Heavyweight Champion a moment to catch his breath. My congratulations, Tommy. Right now, let's go to the ring and see what the former champion has to say.
Thank you, Gordon. Right here in the ring with me, I have the Flame.
This was just another example of an incompetent referee. The referee didn't even know the rules. This was a no disqualification match. Anything goes. You're man enough to do it, you can do it without the referee interfering. I had this chair in my hand, and the referee took it away from me, yet he let Tommy Rich use it on me. Are you proud of yourself, Tommy? You couldn't do it on your own. Let me tell you something, boy. Hang your head in shame, because you're not the Continental Champion. You're nothing better than a low-down purse-snatching thief. I want another shot at that title if you're any kind of a man. Any kind of a man, you give it to me.
All right, you've heard the challenge.
Somebody say something. The Flame, he cried the blues, baby. No disqualification. It don't make a damn high one. Hey, whoa. But I want to say one thing, Flame. I am the people's champion. These are my people. You want a title shot, you got it.
Well, our time is completely gone. Next week, Bill Ash defends the United States Junior Heavyweight Championship. We'll see the Junkyard Dog Norvell Austin, the Nightmares and Tag Team Action, and much, much more. Join me then, won't you? Gordon Soley, say it. So long from Birmingham.